And here we go again, this time with a pile of action Blu-rays. If you'd seen my last video there talking about the American stuff that I got in, I'm just going to do a big group of batches of shit that I got. There's a big blue bag here full of fucking films that I got. And I need to start making some fucking space. So, this is a group of action films that I picked up. I have other action films in the box there. It's just more a case of these are the ones with action heroes. Faces that you know. And I'm going to talk about them all. So, I'll start off with Invasion USA. I know you said Invasion Force because my brain's stupid. I've actually never watched this. It is one I've been meaning to see for years. Apparently it's the most Chuck Norris film that ever fucking Chuck Norris. Just dropped a bunch of shit there. This one, as far as I know, like, well, I've seen a few Chuck Norris things. I saw the Missing in Action movie, or was it Missing in Action he did? Or is it Delta Force? I think it's I think it's the Delta Force ones I saw. They're kind of crap, and in general, I saw Silent. What was it called? It's not Silent Trigger. Silent something. Anyway, he's a fucking. It was kind of a horror action film with him in it, but it wasn't great. He, in general, I think the memes have built him up more than the films have. Like the idea that he's just the most indestructible fucking thing ever. And I guess Walker Texas Ranger, shite as it is, does the same thing, where it just makes him look like he's the most indestructible fucking thing that's ever existed. This one apparently does that, but is also fun. It was a canon movie, and it's laden with fucking action and violence and craziness. Joseph Zito directed it, and it seems to have a good few extras there as well. 88 do fucking great work, and it's a pretty standard release. I don't know what the difference is with the artwork, actually. I never reversed them. I think it's just the same without the 18 cert and the writing, but I kind of like having them on there. It's almost identical, or it is identical. It's one that I've wanted to see for a long time, so I thought, fucking hell, it's going for like 7 or 8 quid. I thought, fuck it, I'm going to get that. May as well see that, it's best. I've had it in my Netflix watch list for a while, then it got taken off Netflix, so may as well. Following that is another one from 88 Films called Avenging Force, which I did watch. I only watched it recently, and the funny thing about this film is it was intended to be a sequel to Invasion USA. I think these both had the same character name, but they're both totally different movies in every way, other than one was intended to be a sequel. Michael Dudikoff, who everyone knows from American Ninja, or I should say, anyone who's seen American Ninja will recognise him. It's himself and him, whose name I don't fucking remember. More stuff falling on the ground, Jesus. But the two of them were both in American Ninja, and this was their follow-up movie, which American Ninja is obviously a bit lighthearted and fun. I think they might have done 2 at this stage. And after doing 2 of them, they were like, we'll do something a bit darker. And fuck me, is this film dark. It's naff. The basic idea of it is there's a bunch of rich, aristocratic, dick-headed cunts who like to fucking get together and release people into the woods and basically hunt them for sport. Which is a plotline that the movie begins with and ends with, but in the middle has nothing to do with really the film at all. But Michael Dudikoff is... Jeez, if I can even remember the fucking plot of this now. I think it's him and his daughter. I couldn't remember. I'm pretty sure they said it was his sister and his daughter. I don't know what the fuck it is. But a little girl. And why is he being targeted? This is a very forgettable movie, I should say. Other than some moments of it. But he's basically going to protect... Where is he? Him. He's like a mayor or something. And... basically this group of lads wants to take him out, and they seem to be racist as well, which just kind of adds to it. That was kind of just thrown into everything back in the day. But he's there to protect him, and it's about all the shit that goes on with him basically avenging what happens to that family, because his family get it so fucking bad in this movie. It's not even a spoiler. It's just that, like, any attempt on his life results in his family being very badly fucking killed or injured. And it's just like, Jesus, the film pulled no punches with that shit. I never actually opened these postcards. I don't usually like having these things on it. So there's Dudikoff himself. There's Dudikoff fighting Bald Strongman, because each one of the people hunting him is like a character, or a special character. There he is with his friend, who actually, this actor unfortunately died not long after, I think, the next American Ninja or something like that. And a headshot of Michael Dudikoff for some reason. I think that image belongs better on the front. It's hard to say much about the film. It's kind of, it is crap, but the action scenes are pretty fucking entertaining. It's a lot more mean-spirited and violent and strange than I thought it was going to be, because I thought it was going to be just a straight up, let's go shoot all these fuckers with Uzis, or whatever the fuck that is. But no, it's not that at all. It's actually, there's a lot more to it, and it's way more mean-spirited. It's really dumb, but it's quite entertaining. I don't know how they would have made it a sequel to Action USA, but they were trying, and I guess they failed because it has Michael Dudikoff in it now. But very good crack, and a really nice edition of it as well. I don't regret picking this up. So that's the number one goal of any purchase I have. The next, the one that just fell on the fucking floor, is the Steven Cigar collection. Now, I mentioned this not long ago, that it was like going cheap and then it just vanished off Amazon. I thought, fuck, I missed it. So I picked up Under Siege 1 and 2 together for £6, but this was £9 and it has both the Under Siege flicks, Hard to Kill, Nico aka Above the Law, and Executive Decision, which is a fucking weird one to include in this. It's actually the exact same kind of set as the Stallone box set that I have, which has, I think, 6 movies. It has The Specialist, Demolition Man, fuck, I don't remember what else is in it now. Bunch of fucking Stallone films in it. There's about 5 or 6 of them. Assassins is in it, and Tango and Cash is in it, of course, yeah. And I think there's another one that's not coming to me now. But they're the ones you get of Cigar, both the same image on the front, except the text is different. That's a weird one to include because he's basically a cameo in it. So they should have actually put Out for Justice and what's it called? Mark for Death on it, and made it a full collection of the good era Steven Seagal. So there is Nico and Executive Decision, which I also think the way they've ordered the box is weird, because Nico came out before all of these films, so I don't know why that's with Executive Decision, which came out last. It should have actually been fucking Hard to Kill and Above the Law on the one disc, and then Under Siege 2 and Executive Decision in the one box. But I won't get too picky. These are literally the exact same discs that I got before in the other set, only this has Hard to Kill in it. So I will be giving that away to Joe from the Lazy Dads. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Steven Seagal, he's a cunt, but he made some fucking brilliant action films back in the day, or at least very entertaining. I will talk about the king of action now. I'm going to just do the 3 of these at once. Mr. Legendary Universe Man Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I've got 3 of his films here. Walter Hale's Red Heat, which I had the pleasure of seeing on the big screen at Grindhouse a few years ago, which was fucking great to see. Surprised it's still 18s. It's not that gritty, but it's a great fucking crack. Walter Hale is actually just such a good filmmaker. I've mentioned before, he needs to have a resurgence and come back and do some shit. James Belushi's good cracking it as well. It's just good Chicago fun, with some hilarious Russian Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. Pretty standard edition, but I was glad it has a 4K remaster. This is just a 1080p version of it. The 4K was going for 10 or more, and I thought, fucking hell, this is cheap, I'll get that. And I want to revisit it as well while it looks its best. This is a childhood favourite. I used to watch this all the time. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I'm amazed it's still 15s. Because really the opening scene is a bit gritty, and then it's pretty normal with, it's some suggestive stuff throughout, and then at the end it's a bit more violent. But again, this is a 12s movie really. They also made a sequel with Dolph Lundgren, and it was a failure. Tremendous crack. It's Arnie basically, crap bonus features, Arnie thrown in and being forced to be a teacher while undercover investigating I think he's a drug dealer, and the drug dealer's son is in the class that he's looking after, and he just gets involved in all kinds of shit. It's quite lighthearted and quite a lot of fun, but it does have some kind of grittier bits in it. But there's some genuinely hilarious moments, and one in particular is him telling the classroom to shut up. I remember I laughed at that till I was blue in the face as a kid, especially after he does that and he runs outside and screams. It's just the most Arnie noise you've ever heard in your life. But this is good crack. Again, it was like a fire. I thought, fuck, I'd like to revisit that again, so can't wait to look at that. And lastly is The Running Man. I think, are these all Fabulous? No, that's Studio Canal. I think these two are. No, that's Medium Rare. Oh no, it is Fabulous. Jesus. I think they might have picked up Raw Deal. No, actually Studio Canal had that. So Studio Canal seems to have a lot of Arnie stuff as well. But The Running Man, written by Stephen King under the name Richard Bachman, I think this is a fake or pseudonym, whatever you call it. This one looks like a pretty standard edition as well, but it's actually a newer release of it. I'm not 100% sure if it's a newer print, but I just know it's a better release from the ones that came out before. I think it came out in, I don't know when, I'm trying to see at the bottom here. 2019, yeah. So there was a Blu-ray out years ago, and I think this one was just a better version they brought out. I don't know whether it's a new print. They don't mention it. Fabulous are kind of an odd label. They release good films, but they're not exactly super duper editions. But yeah, fucking, that's the last of the Arnie's. Glad to finally have all these in the collection. I am building up a decent Arnie collection at this stage, and a decent fucking Cigar and Van Damme, and trying to get all the good classic action heroes together in a good collection, while also avoiding any of the shite they've done best I can. And speaking of Van Damme, and last but not least, is the Van Damme Collection. 101 Films released this, and I've seen it on their website for fucking ages, and I was considering getting it. The one that was kind of put me off is Black Eagle. As far as I know, it is shite, but I am going to watch it anyway because I have it now. But they sold these each separately for I think £7.99, and then this box set was £9.99. So I thought, fuck it. I think I actually got it on Amazon for like £7.99 anyway. So absolute fucking bargain. I remember my brother had loads of these on DVD and video back in the day, and he had both AWOL and Debt Warrant. And what was that called again? Lionheart. That was the original name. It was. And then the DVD was AWOL. I think Lionheart might be the UK title and AWOL is the American one, but it's transferred over now. But this is a pretty fucking nice box set as well. I mean, it's just standard. It's the 3 films in it. So under the cult movie collection, I don't know if you really called most of these cult films, but I guess it could be. There's AWOL, Black Eagle, Debt Warrant. I've no idea what to expect with Black Eagle. I just know that it's meant to be pretty rubbish. So I'm going in with a bit of optimism for her, because I'm like, it might not be that bad. It could be rubbish because it's Van Damme and he's a shit actor, but it could be good crack. And I mean, I'm revisiting old action movies that are like straight to video bollocks back in 1991, and I look at it now and I go, the pyro effects, the squibs, all that is top tier now, and it actually just makes the film so much better because it shows they don't give a fuck now. They're like, do digital blood, do digital explosions, but this does the real thing. So hopefully that lives up to it here. But Death Warrant and AWOL are highly regarded, so can't wait to look at them. I've put all the other films on the ground, so I'm not going to pick them up to put them in the shot here. But thank you for watching. That's a lot of the action shit I picked up lately. There will likely be more, and there'll be more videos, and you can probably hear that storm out there. It's pretty bad. So wrap up if you're in Ireland, and thanks for watching.